You escape the summer heat, land somewhere cooler, and discover that cool means nonstop rain, violent wind, or evenings cold enough for a winter coat. Because a breezy coastal city, a misty island, and a high mountain valley may show similar temperatures, but they create completely different vacations. Here are 15 cooler summer destinations, described by what being there actually feels like, so you can match the climate, scenery, and pace to the trip you want. And one of them can make July feel strangely like October, except the sun barely seems to set. Iceland feels like visiting a planet that forgot to install summer. The air is crisp, waterfalls thunder beside the road, and one moment of sunshine can become sideways rain 10 minutes later. Summer brings extremely long daylight, but not dependable warmth. Even August daytime temperatures can remain surprisingly low. Choose Iceland when you want dramatic landscapes and constant movement, not afternoons beside a warm pool.
The Highlands feel soft, green, and slightly mysterious. Clouds slide across mountains, narrow roads disappear between empty valleys, and a sudden patch of sunlight can transform an ordinary loch into a mirror. Summer conditions are comfortable for walking, but showers and biting midges are part of the experience. This is the escape for travelers who find gray skies cozy rather than disappointing.
The Faroe Islands feel like standing on the exposed edge of the North Atlantic. Villages sit beneath enormous green cliffs. Waterfalls drop toward the ocean. Fog can erase a mountain while you were looking at it. The weather feels less like a forecast and more like a fast-moving performance. Packed for wind, rain, and sudden beauty, sometimes all within the same hour. Lofoten feels brighter and more energetic. Sharp mountains rise directly from clear water. Fishing villages glow red beneath them, and summer evenings can stretch almost indefinitely. You may finish dinner, begin a hike, and realize the sky still looks like late afternoon. It is cool without always feeling gloomy. The choice for people who want Arctic scenery with unusually luminous days. Stockholm feels like a gentle northern summer, rather than an escape into wilderness. Cafes spill onto sidewalks, ferries move between islands, and the air is often fresh enough for long walks without the exhausting heat found farther south. The nearby archipelago changes the mood completely. One short boat journey can replace city streets with quiet docks, pine trees, and cold water. Tallinn feels like autumn briefly decided to become cheerful. Medieval towers, stone lanes, and shaded courtyards create a cozy atmosphere, even during the longest days of the year. The city is compact, so you can explore without spending hours in direct sun. Choose Tallinn when you want cooler weather, but still prefer restaurants, architecture, and history over hiking boots. The Swiss Alps feel clean, bright, and almost impossibly organized. Lower valleys can become warm, but cable cars quickly lift you toward cooler trails, lingering snow, and enormous mountain views. The temperature can change dramatically with elevation. That makes the Alps one of the most flexible choices. Lakes and cafes in the morning, then jackets and high-altitude footpaths after lunch. Vancouver Island feels calm and deeply green. On the western coast, forests appear to run directly into the Pacific. Beaches are broad and beautiful, but the water and breeze remind you that this is not a tropical coastline. It suits slow road trips, whale-watching excursions, forest walks, and evenings spent near a fire rather than beneath an air conditioner. San Francisco feels like someone moved autumn into the middle of California. You may see people leaving a hot inland area wearing shorts, then buying sweatshirts beside the bay an hour later. Fog and cold ocean air can make summer afternoons unexpectedly chilly. This is urban cool. Steep streets, neighborhood food, waterfront walks, and a climate that rewards carrying an extra layer everywhere. Coastal Maine feels fresh, pine-scented, and quietly nostalgic. Mornings may begin with fog over the harbor, Afternoons bring rocky shorelines, forest trails, and small towns built around seafood and boats. It can still become warm, but the Atlantic frequently takes the edge off the heat. The experience feels like a classic American summer vacation with the thermostat turned down. Southeast Alaska feels enormous, even when you are standing inside a small port town. Glaciers, rainforests, misty channels, and mountains surround nearly every journey. The climate is often damp rather than brutally cold, so waterproof clothing may matter more than a giant winter coat. Choose it when wildlife, boats, and scale matter more to you than predictable blue skies. Hokkaido feels like Japan has opened a window. While much of the country experiences intense summer heat and humidity, Hokkaido is generally milder, with summer temperatures often around 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, though conditions vary across the island. Expect flower fields, volcanic landscapes, seafood markets, and cities that are easier to explore without feeling permanently overheated. Patagonia feels raw, distant, and serious. During June through August, you are arriving in the southern hemisphere's winter rather than its summer. Snow, short days, difficult road conditions, and limited seasonal access can turn the journey into a genuine cold weather expedition. This is not simply a cooler vacation. It is for travelers deliberately seeking winter landscapes and accepting the extra planning they require. Cape Town feels like a Mediterranean city during its quieter, moodier season. June through August can bring cool weather, rain, dramatic clouds, and clear periods when Table Mountain suddenly reappears above the city. The advantage is variety. A single day can include coastal scenery, cafes, museums, mountain views, and vineyards, without the relentless heat of a peak beach vacation. Tasmania feels peaceful, rugged, and slightly untamed. Its June through August season is winter, so expect cold mornings, possible snow in higher areas, dark forests, rough coastlines, and evenings made for fireplaces and local food. Of all these destinations, Tasmania may feel most like skipping summer completely and entering a quiet landscape at the opposite point of the year. So do not choose a cooler destination by temperature alone. Choose Iceland or the Faroes for weather that feels wild, the Scottish Highlands or Vancouver Island for green, rainy calm, Stockholm or Tallinn for comfortable city exploration, the Alps or Lofoten for brighter mountain days, Hokkaido for mild adventure, and Patagonia or Tasmania when what you truly want is winter. The best cool weather escape is not necessarily the coldest one. It is the place whose version of cool feels like relief, rather than another problem you forgot to pack for.